So it does appear that we are bullish at the moment. This wave 4 is a little bit small and it hasn't pulled back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So it could be a trap moving up through here. We could still get this move back down here and then a move up at this point. So it's either that or I'll need to bring wave 3 and 4 over to 5 and 3 over to here and have this as an A and a B and a C wave down here, which kind of makes a little bit more sense. But we need to get a strategy that we don't get caught in this. Okay, so I'm not sure if we're at 1,000 or 1. Okay, we're here. So yeah, let me just think about this for a moment. Because yesterday we're calling this is a possible low in place here, and it doesn't really give us the best impulse wave to the upside. I mean, that's an impulse wave, but then we got a lot of this here. I don't quite get my head around. I mean, that's okay. That's all good. That's all good. Obviously we talked about going long at that point. Maybe you have, but yeah. So maybe this is maybe I need to bring this over here. I'll have to do some back work here, but I know a lot of that was a little bit messy as well. But we're not far off things. So, so yeah, this could actually be over here as an A wave here, an A, B, and C wave here for the B wave. I think that's kind of what we could be looking at here. But then that would leave us 1, 2 here, and that would all be 3. This would be some sort of A, B, C, D, and E here for 5. I'm thinking that's kind of going to be it over here, actually. I'll just mull that over a little bit further. And, of course, this would leave us 1 and 2. So the next long trade here, I can see that I'll just leave that there in case folks are long, and we'll just talk about stops and stuff. That there is 5 waves, right? So anything above that would be good to go at that point. So we'll turn this one green, so we'll just figure out some stops for these, and we can also turn this one green as well. That obviously that 16,000 is going to be a bit of a headache at this point, but I do think we could actually, let me just turn this red here for a moment. Oops. And let's just look at this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's okay there. So really what we need to do here is just understand that this could come back. It may come back just the 40% here, you know, but it could also come back to this area here. This little area, I mean, it'll cut, that's quite deep into support of all of this consolidation and previous consolidations as well. But that's where it could come back to. So that means that we need to keep the stop outside of that. So the stop would still need to be here, and that would be okay because that's the risk that you've got at this point with that. And if this just gives, I mean, most of the markets around the world were looking for basically some sort of little wave 4 here in other markets and then a push up. So I think that that's something that we'll see there, and the 15,850 will be the nice support for that. So that looks all good. So just sort of building to the upside. Once that's triggered here, then you can get this stop and bring it up under this one here. Is there another little dot in there? No. Okay. Didn't give us a very nice classic trading levels pattern, and you may not have taken that heat on here and all of the rest of it. But when you take the first wave, when you got wave 1, you know, it's always best to leave the stop under the previous low, you know, once the trend starts, and you can do other things. So that's that. And the FTSE as well, we're calling a low in here. It was a long shot, you know, because it's a bit tricky to understand all of that, but lining things up with, I don't have a nice, really good 5-wave structure here as well on this, you know. But this is not 5 waves down here either, so we've kind of got to go with this for the moment. Now, obviously, this could be a wave 3 here because it's really strong. What I might do is I might just put this wave 1 up here and this here. And I'll just I can't go that way. I'll have to go this. I mean, this is going to be sort of. I mean, I could go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. That's probably what I'll have to do. But just kind of because I've got to, if we go up here, I've got to. I've got to get the timing right for all the global markets, unless I see them moving out from one another and they're doing their own things completely, But I think it's going to be something like this here. So it'll be this and then a smaller version of this here, wherever that wave 4 is here, these tops here, and that wave 4, then that will be that one there. We'll go up because we'll still need to have wave 3 up here as well. So I know that's a bit weird. I'm going a bit left field with that, but that's okay. That's just an idea. Otherwise, that we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So there's different ways to look at this, but I'm doing this just simply for the timing of the top. So going from wave 3, 4 and 5 up here. And we can do the same this wave 4 business with the other market, with the FX markets as well. So with the euro here, I'm going to look at the euro as the A wave here, the B wave up here, and the C wave here, and then 1 and 2 here. Now the typical thing would to be go long above the B wave there. That would be it. But if you wanted to go here, then you'll need to just leave the stop under here because it is a nice ABC. So I'll just, if you want to take on that risk, but because you got the indices doing the same thing and the global markets all doing the same thing, you can kind of do anything on the upside within reason. And yeah, so that would be it at this point for that. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could go up a bit further than this, of course, but that would be it. This number here, the 1.1 is big kahuna. This other little ones here, that's also extremely, 1's the strongest number, so it's going to be important, and it is important, so we're going to see some sort of little thing across here. It may be wave 1 up here. Do you know what I mean? I'm not quite sure, so yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point. And then you can look to add on top of this level here as well, wait for the first high above the level, all the normal sort of stuff. And over to the pound sterling. So after I did the video yesterday and I was cleaning things up, and I thought, oh shit, look, that looks like a damn triangle in here, because I had that 3 waves here and I got 3 waves here and all of this sort of stuff. So this is where I'm at the moment, and this is kind of good because this ties it into the rest of the global markets too, in terms of wave 4 going to wave 5, and we have wave 1 and 2 in the markets to the upside. So an A, B, C, D, E here for wave 4, 1 and 2, and moving to the upside, so we can give that the green light there as well. So all looking quite good at that point, and you'll need to leave the stop under here for that too, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but that is 5 waves here. So, and that's a nice little ABC pattern in here. So that's the stop, and you can just buy anywhere really, but look for a little classic trading levels pattern in there. I'll leave that to you. And we get up to the beginning of group 2 here at least. We'll see how wave 3 travels, and what kind of wind it captures in its sails. But we should see this at least. I mean, the 126 will be probably a nice target to take a good chunk off, really, and we can let the rest float to the beginning of group 2, which is 126.50. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.